And I think you might need to go potty. Do you want to go take a potty? Okay, I'm letting him outside. Will you get him at the end of the door?
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't hear.
Oh, you even sound better.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think I was hearing myself or something. I don't know. It was weird. So let me look. So to pronounce your name, it's Tracy Medeiros.
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 Yes.
Medeiros, like kind of like a Medeiros.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Medeiros.
And your website is Medeiros Consulting, and I might have you like spell it at the end, right?
Okay.
It is. And anything else you want to, like at the end, I'll make sure and ask you if there's any more people can find out about you, and feel free to share whatever you have, lead magnet. I don't care, whatever you have, how they can
it's just Instagram.
You.
I am working on my lead magnet.
Okay.
Getting that all set up.
Yeah. So yeah, your Instagram would be perfect. I know I had Hillary on yesterday, and we definitely plugged her Instagram page. So I'm happy to do that for you too. And then, so you are a VA and an online business manager, or should I just
mostly online business manager.
Okay. Online business manager. I have who helps small businesses grow their business by alleviating or automating the tasks that do not allow them to focus on what they do best.
Yeah, we're kind of in the process of mutating.
Yeah.
I really wanted to focus on small business, but it seems to be sustainable that I need to go more broad and go online. So I still take local clients, but it's on a smaller scale.
Okay. Interesting. Because you're moving, but you're staying local where you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm staying in Kauai. It's just, we have family land, and before we came and just got a rental because it was easier.
Yeah.
And so now we're kind of moving.
Okay.
And then we're going to be building, which is always
goodness.
so exciting.
Wow. That is amazing. That'll be fun to watch on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me see. So anything else? Is that do you still want me to say what I just said? That's a good kind of like intro for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you taking clients then on like virtually online? Like okay.
Yeah. So what I really like doing is setting up systems for them. So we can set up their systems and get it automated so that they can pretty much manage their business. I do have the option of being a business manager for them. But my preference is to get everything set up so that they can handle it a little easier themselves or delegate to somebody else, which I do also hire and onboard people and then train them so that they can do that.
Awesome. All sounds amazing. So at the end, could I ask you like, what's kind of let you kind of give your spiel about automating? Like what is like kind of like the first thing you should do, or kind of something like that you see business owners having issues with? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
would. Okay. You looked kind of like not okay with it.
I see a shadow, and I guess that's distracting.
On your screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't see a shadow really. I think it looks great.
Okay, good.
Fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to cover it up. I think you need to take I have like my questions that I have on like a note, and I put it like over the screen so I can't even see.
Well, maybe we will. Well, maybe we'll do that. Okay, now it's just you.
Oh, well, I don't know if that's good. I'm just kidding. Okay. So I'm going to go and we'll put this on the Facebook group. And so do you have any other questions? Like totally, this is just like, we're having coffee, we're meeting in Hawaii on the beach. We're hanging out, talking about all your awesomeness and all your successes, and just kind of like your journey to where you are now. So, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, awesome. This will be good practice. Everyone is saying how this is like really good practice and to do interviews and stuff.
That's kind of what I was thinking myself. It's like, okay, this will be the big push, and then I'll have to carry it on my own after that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay, so I am, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. I will put it. So once I click the button, it'll go live and I'll give your introduction and then I'll start asking you a question. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yay. Okay. It's going to be fun. Okay. My notes. Okay. Secret network. Hey everyone, it's Anna Runyon. I'm back with another live interview with someone I'm really excited to introduce you to. Her name is Tracy Medeiros. She's an online business manager who helps small businesses grow their business by automating the tasks that do not allow them to focus on what they do best. So this is something that's really, really important to me, automating tasks, and she loves setting up systems and getting us automated.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that today because it's really, really important when you're starting and growing a business as a lot of us are in this group right now. So thank you, Tracy, for being with us and for sharing all of your knowledge with us.
Well, thanks for having me, Anna.
Yeah. So I want to talk about kind of like the beginning of your journey and when you started your business, what it was like. What were some of those like fears that you had when you started your business?
Well, I actually just recently started. I started officially December of 2016. And prior to that, I kind of always thought I wanted to start my own business. I also was in Oregon at the time and thought that, okay, well, when I move to Hawaii, that's when I'll start my business. And then the security of having a standard paycheck. And I've been in corporate for 14 years. So that mind frame is totally different from an entrepreneur. So I'm like, oh, we'll do it maybe later. Maybe this just really isn't the right market for it. So I got to Kauai and went to work for another business. And then after that, it was like, you know what? I think it's either now or never. So at the end of the year, I said, I'm going to be in place by 2017. And we got that running. And taking off was actually pretty quick. It kind of like dawned on me one day that, yes, this will work. I had some construction workers that through my other job, I was constantly in contact with them, and they were having some major issues with systems in their business and not having the resources to hire somebody full time. And I'm like, this is something I could really develop into something that could help a lot of people. And that was kind of how it started. I was kind of like rushed into it. And then over the course of the months, it kind of mutated into something a little bit different because over that time of starting, I'm like, okay, I can also do this virtually because Kauai is a small place. It's not going to be very sustainable after a while. And learning the ins and outs of like a VA, because I've never heard of that term before, it kind of mutated into an online business manager. And now I'm trying to shuffle between online and the small businesses locally, because that's actually where my passion lies, is with the small local businesses.
Yeah, and this has come up so often too, of just getting started and then things become clear as soon as you get out there and start getting those clients.
Yeah. So at first I really didn't know what I was doing.
All of us, right? Like no one exactly.
As long as I was helping someone, that worked for me. I didn't have quite a niche, and I'm still focusing on my niche, but it's definitely falling into place as things go on. So these people who think, oh, you have to have everything in place, that's a farce, because you don't know what you're doing.
And this is coming from the systems girl and the automation
exactly
girl, so.
Exactly. And that was kind of maybe my problem in the beginning was I'm a corporate person. It's very black and white. You have tasks you need to do and you do them, and you have deadlines you have to meet, and it's not really the same way as an entrepreneur. So even my mindset had to change a little bit, and it's still changing actually.
Mm-hmm. So some of the problems were leaving that security of the day job. It kind of sounds like that was the mindset.
That was probably the biggest thing. I always was paid pretty well and had the benefits and 401k and knew that I was going to be okay if anything happened. But not having that standard income and the benefits that were kind of supplied to you scared me a lot.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So you were in Hawaii figuring out how to do this virtually, and you joined CRP. You've been with us for quite a while. How did you come across Corporate Rescue Plan?
To be honest with you, I joined your other program first, the one trying to find your ideal career.
Love Your Career Formula.
Exactly. And I was in that one first. And because I still have that corporate mindset. I thought I'm just in the wrong industry. We just need to get into something maybe a little bit more creative, but still very corporate minded. And I was in there for a little while before I decided, nope, we're gonna go out on our own and do this ourselves.
I think that's so important though too, because in Love Your Career Formula, we focus just a lot on figuring out what that ideal career fit is for you. So you didn't want to just jump into the business without really knowing if it was for you. And I think that's why you've had such success, as the entrepreneur, because you did that self-reflection that so many people miss.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, like I said, it's totally different mindset. So you got to make sure that that's really what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because I know working in corporate, a lot of your identity is wrapped up into that as well. You get to tell people what to do and they go and do it. And now you're doing everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now it's all coming back to me now because I remember this. You transferred from Love Your Career Formula into Corporate Rescue Plan. John probably remembers it a little bit more. He has to do all like the administrative stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I was kind of torn too because I hadn't gone through all of the modules with Love Your Career Formula. And I'm like, well, should I wait and go through them all just to make sure? And it was like, no, I think this is definitely the path we're going to go. So
yeah, when you know in your gut, that business owner is what you want. Corporate Rescue Plan is the place to be for sure because the content's so much more entrepreneur.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely very helpful.
So what did you think when you joined CRP?
I was very thankful that there was a group of people that were kind of in different areas. There were some that hadn't started yet. They're still kind of struggling with what the idea was that they wanted to strive for. And then there were others that were kind of like in the same boat that I was. And then there was others that were a little further along. And I think that was very helpful that you saw everybody in the different stages. And, you could either ask them, hey, what were the hurdles? Or you kind of saw what their hurdles were just based on their group. And so that was very helpful to me. It still is. In fact, I think you asked a question a couple of weeks ago about having just Facebook groups where you had an individual stage that you were in the group. And at first I kind of liked that idea, but then I was thinking, I got a lot of good feedback from people who were either behind or ahead of me. And I think that's really, really valuable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had some mixed feedback about that too, because everyone's there's 5 phases of Corporate Rescue Plan for people who don't know, and everyone is in different phases and helping and supporting and sharing and there's things in different phases that are helpful too to kind of learn for when you get there too, and it's always good to have like a refresher of the beginning too. So yeah, I think I totally agree. I love having kind of the variety of the phases to see what people are working on too. So did you follow the modules when you started too?
I did follow the modules. Currently, life kind of takes over, and I'm still in 3 and 4, kind of doing 3 and 4 at the same time.
That's awesome.
I'm actually very excited for you to start your going through the modules live. I'm going to do that with you. So
I know I was just working on the calendar right before we got on here too of when things are going to be for going through CRP live, the 5 phases over the next 6 months. So it's going to be very exciting. But that's a huge accomplishment. I mean, since you joined, you went through phase 1, phase 2, and now almost phase 3 and then into phase 4.
I'm almost done with phase 3. For some reason, I'm stuck on some of the little things in phase 3, so I can't say I've completed it completely.
Well, we'll get you unstuck very soon. So going through the modules, tell us about some of the actions then you started taking.
Well, I think the most profound action was just one of your quotes about doing something. It's better to do something imperfectly than, what is your quote? Tell me your quote.
The funny thing is, I don't think it's my quote, but I think it's better to have imperfect
Perfect
action rather
action.
than waiting for perfect action. I think
I have it
something
written
like that, but
in my office.
I don't think it was me. That's, I think.
That has been like the biggest thing. I see it in my office every day, and it's definitely been something I tell people as well, that you just, do it, and then you can also, tweak it as as you go along, and it's better to have it just done and out there, because then that also kind of pushes you forward to the next step. So
Exactly. Yeah. And I've seen you so much just put stuff out there, keep going, and not striving for that perfection too. So I think that's awesome that you just move forward no matter what.
yeah, can't be stagnant.
No. So when
you don't get anything done.
Yeah, seriously. You know that. So,
Exactly.
so tell us about like the decision, like when you actually made that commitment to move forward with your business. Like, what was that like?
I don't know if it was because it was the end of the year as well, and it was like a brand new starting in January. But it was a lot of excitement. You had the holidays, and um, I don't have any real, like, my immediate family's back in Oregon and Ohio, and so it was like, okay, my husband and I, and we had that little thing to be excited about, except for the holidays, because I think holidays are kind of blah when you don't have children around or your family around. So it was something else for us to focus on, and it was very exciting, and we had a great time in the beginning.
Yeah, and we do say welcome to the family, so we can be your family anytime. We have people from all over the world too. So that's like the exciting part. So what do you excuse me. What do you think, everything in your life would be like if you hadn't followed kind of the CRP plan?
I think it would probably be the same old, same old. You go to work in the morning and you do your job and you do it well. But you may not be as challenged as you could be, or you may not be as passionate as you think you should be. And now it's like, my husband yells at me because I'll be working. He's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be like reading a magazine or doing something like that, or watching TV, and you're working. So I'll work from 7 in the morning until 10 at night. But I also have the beaches here. So I love the beach. So that kind of gets me out of the house a lot. And I have a dog. I have a very active Labrador that also loves the beach.
Yeah, and you have to check out your Instagram profile because you're always posting pictures of the dog and the beach, and it's so fun to kind of like live through you. We CRP meetup in Hawaii, I think.
Well, I think that'd be great. That'd be a fun idea.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us about some of the results that you've experienced since you started.
Well, I've increased my amount of clients. I'm also getting more into the community, which that kind of took me a little longer. I thought that was going to be the easy part, but in Kauai, you don't necessarily have all of like the BNI groups and the other groups that you have set up like you see in the mainland. So that was kind of slow going, which was disappointing, because that's kind of where I excel, is in front of people and one-on-one. So we're just now starting some groups up and having a very consistent group that we meet every other week, and that's been a lot of fun. So hopefully we can get out there to the more the newer entrepreneurs that we have out here in Kauai, and also consider the online aspect of it as well.
Mm-hmm. So what are you most proud of that you've done?
Doing it.
Yay!
I think that's, security is a lot for me, I think. And so just the fact that I went against the norm and, started my own business, and we're actually, we're just starting. So we definitely have room to grow, but it's something that I do see, providing a lifetime for us.
Yeah. That's so exciting too, especially when you can think that way and you can really plan out your vision of the future and you get excited about it. And you're working hard, but it's work you love doing. So
exactly. Yeah. So you're not like, oh my gosh, I'm at the office, but the time goes by so quickly because I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm going to check and see if we have had a couple comments come in, but while I do that, tell us where people can find you online.
You can go to my website. It's medeirosconsulting.com. We are kind of in the midst of trying to rebrand, because it is very focused to this local businesses. But like we mentioned earlier, I do online virtual business management as well. Also, I really enjoy doing the Instagram.
Yay.
My Facebook page is basically my Instagram page too. So
What's your username on
it's Medeiros Consulting. So just
Mm-hmm.
at Medeiros Consulting as well.
And spell it for people too. So, and hopefully, if someone's listening, maybe Ida, you can put in her URL so that people can link to it for sure.
It's Medeiros, Medeiros Consulting, CONSULTING, .com for the website, and then just the handle for the Instagram.
Awesome. Okay, so we have a lot of people with us. We have Ida is with us and supporting us. We all love her. Where to find Tracy? Oh, see, I didn't even need to ask Ida. She's already on it. She's already linked.
Ida's always on it. Yes.
She's always on it. Shout out to Ida. We love you. Chantal is with us. She said, yes, finally caught alive. Awesome. I know you were so close to catching us yesterday. I think you were on like a minute after we signed off with Hillary. So I'm glad you caught us. Chantal, let us know if you have any questions. Ida says, I would love to work from the beach. That'd be awesome.
You know, it's harder than you would think. I thought I would be doing that too. Everything is so remote and online, and you've got the cloud and everything. And I'm like, okay, we're going to go to the beach, but the wind and the sand.
Yeah, it's just that vision. Don't ruin the vision for us.
I've even bought those little plugs that go into where your USB so the sand doesn't get in there. And it's if I can work from my phone, then it's a beach day, which we do. We try to do some beach work days on Fridays because my assistant Kana gets paid in beach days. So
nice. Nice. I love it. I love it. Magalie's with us. She said, me too. I love the beach. So let's see. Max is with us. Dee is with us. It's good to see you, ladies. Kelly Moore says, I'm glad I clicked into this. What is the topic? Well, we're talking about Tracy's journey through starting a business. I am going to ask her a question here in a second about getting started with systems and automating, because that is her specialty. So while I have her here, I'm going to, of course, ask her a question. Ida wrote your URL too. So thank you, Ida.
Thanks, Ida.
John is with us as well. I hope he's multitasking, watching my daughter and on Facebook Live. So that's awesome. Katerina is with us. Hi, Katerina. She said, so glad I popped in on time. Okay. So we'll probably have a few other questions that come in, but can you give us some tips, me included, oh goodness, on systems and automating? What are some of the struggles you're seeing? How would someone who's just starting or growing a business help them with automating and systematizing in the beginning?
I think it's very important to remember, even though it's just you most of the time starting out as a solopreneur, you do need to document stuff, and you don't need to spend a lot of time. You can, as you're doing your daily activities, just write keynotes for yourself, and then you can hire out and have somebody put those notes together so it's documented. But I think we all forget that, oh, I'm doing everything. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to write this down. But we forget that with systems in place, you are able to scale your business a little bit better. You're able to delegate to somebody else so that you can take the day off or go on vacation or whatever it may be that you want to go get away from, because you have everything documented step by step and very clearly so that they can do that on their own. Mm-hmm. And it's better to do it in the beginning than later because it is very time consuming. So you do have to figure out how you're going to document it and do the screenshots. And it's better if you can remember, start with your systems, and then you have that foundation.
Yes. Yeah, it's so important. I remember when I first got an intern, and it forced me to create all the systems and the screen videos and everything. And then she could just do what I do. She could just do it. And it was like, oh, this is amazing, having this documented. But it's a lot of work up front, but it's so worth it if you can just spend that time in the end.
Exactly.
And she's actually made it much better too. Then she started adding to it, and I was like, oh, wow.
Yep. And that's kind of what you hope for, is so that you can get somebody taken those tasks off of your plate, and then they're going to enhance it so that if you scale to the amount where you need to even hire even more people, it's very laid out and everybody knows what they're doing and everybody knows what you expect from them too.
Mm-hmm. So where do you just recommend like kind of like a Google Doc, or like how should you do that?
If you're small, I definitely, like, for even myself, I'm using Google Docs and then putting on Google Sites, so that you have it for anybody in your company to see it. So that's kind of my preference. It's very easy to do on Google Docs. And then it's also, if you do need to scale up to something like having it on a library of your CRM or something like that, it's very easy to move.
Okay. Awesome. So let's see what else has come in. Shatal says, what was the action you had to take that you really had to push yourself to do? I think I might know. I'm just
I'm still working on this. It's being more personable. Corporate has brainwashed me. Emotions, there's no emotions in business. What are you talking about? But as you all know, everybody wants to get to know you, not necessarily what you do. So that's kind of my biggest thing that was hard.
Yeah, so true for me too, coming from corporate. It was just like my website when I started was like black and navy because I had to be in suits, and like it was just, that was the professional image I had. And then when I finally was able to be myself, that was a lot easier too, but it is a challenge. And I think for me, yeah, it was kind of the same thing, getting out there and starting to share my story, my personal life, a lot of like the things like, but that's when people can really connect with you too, when you start sharing more about yourself. When I started, because I'm kind of answering the question too, is when I started, I was anonymous. I was an anonymous blogger. So it took me a while to actually like put my picture on my website even. So I think that was kind of the thing I had to push myself with too. So it's not just you, it's everyone just starting too. I think it's putting yourself out there is scary.
It is scary. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Kelly says, oh, wonderful. Thanks. Ida says, great questions, ladies. Ida says, tips, start with your systems and build that foundation and use Google Docs. So she's just keeping notes for us. So you guys can watch this later and just go back and copy and paste. So
I also do my tips and tricks Tuesday. So I have little bits and pieces on my Instagram on Tuesday. So if you are curious, today was just kind of a miscellaneous one about using your airplane mode to focus.
I need to do that.
I know. I don't know why I haven't done it sooner, because there's certain, like, it's so easy to just hit that little airplane button and you can go into a meeting and not worrying about your phone going off. So
Awesome.
Really nice to have.
So Maria's with us, Alicia's with us, and now everyone's joining us too. So share with us one last time where people can find you online, Tracy.
Instagram, Medeiros Consulting, and then MedeiroSconsulting.com for the website. That's MEDEIROS.
And for all of you guys who are joining too, make sure you have watched the first video of the Freedom Workshop. It went live yesterday, but you can still watch it today. If you're not signed up, make sure you get signed up and to get those videos and the workbooks. And you can sign up at www.corporaterescueplan.com/freedom. And video 2 comes out tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited for you guys to see what's happening on video 2. So if you can, try and watch video 1 before video 2 comes out tomorrow. But if you need to watch them both back to back, that's okay too. So any last words of wisdom for these ladies starting out, Tracy?
I would say just do it. If you really think that this is something you want to do, just take that first step, and then other steps will come later.
Yes, definitely. Awesome. Thank you so much, Tracy, for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, you're welcome. We'll see all you guys later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.